My number one is The Godfather Part 2.
I see.
Yes.
Excellent choice.
Thank you.
You've done a good thing.
Well, the sequel to The Godfather, obviously, starring Al Pacino, Robert Duvall, Diane Keaton, Robert De Niro. The second film is a sequel and a prequel to The Godfather. It has a parallel storyline where one of the storylines picks up in 1958 with Michael Corleone. Is that how you pronounce it?
Michael Corleone.
Yeah. Pacino, who's the new Don of the Corleone family, protecting his family business after an attempt on his life. And then the prequel covers the journey of Vito Corleone, played by De Niro, as he shows his childhood coming from Sicily to becoming crime boss in New York.
It is great to see. Definitely see The Godfather first.
Yes, watch The Godfather
which
first.
Is Marlon Brando as Vito Corleone, and we get to see how Pacino kind of rises up to where he is. Even though at the beginning of The Godfather, he says to his girlfriend Diane Keaton, "That's my family.
Yeah.
It's not me."
Yeah.
And then by the end, it is him.
Yeah.
And Godfather Part 2, one of the very best sequels.
Yes.
It does surround The Godfather, as you said, because it's Robert De Niro who plays Marlon Brando's character.
Yes.
And we see
Him.
his rise.
His childhood.
The first one is.
Leaving Sicily.
And it does continue with Pacino.
Yes.
In the other part.
It's a sequel and a prequel.
Yes.
It has two storylines.
Which leads me to my number one choice. And I really hope you don't think it's too much of a cliche to say that my number one pick is The Godfather, Part 1 and 2. And the reason I wouldn't separate them for the world, because while it's a Part 2, I do not consider it a sequel at all. Being a prequel and a sequel, I would have them, if possible, edited together in whatever order you want, whether it's Part 1, and then Part 1 and then Part 2.
Yeah. Or
separated so it's the prequel half, the second, then the first movie, and then the second, because the themes are exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's great to follow the family, because it's not just Pacino, De Niro, and Brando that are the highlights. We have great supporting performances by Robert Duvall, James Caan, and Diane Keaton as as a wife who's sort of Pacino's conscience is how I view her, and the brothers really are the Pacino doesn't want to become and ends up becoming. And
these are some of the most iconic movies of all time.
Well, this is often listed as the number one.
The number one, yeah.
Amazing. The scope of it, the complexity, the details, the set design, the cinematography, the writing, the directing, the performances. And there are a lot of performances over the course of these two movies. Like even smaller performances of other gangsters who just sort of pop up, have their scenes, and leave. And I guess we should probably mention that this is not the only Godfather movie, or two movies. There is a third one.
There is a third one.
Now, what are your views on the third one?
It's not as good.
It's not as good?
It's not as good.
I'm still going to greenlight the third one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely watch. Watch all three of them.
Yeah.
Take a binge watch. Watch all three of them.
I couldn't. I couldn't do that.
Okay.
Because if you put them all together, because they're about 3 to 4 hours each.
Yeah.
First one's 3 hours, and maybe the second one's 4 hours.
But so worth it.
Very much worth it. Yeah.
Payoff.
But the third one is not at all necessary.
No.
Though it does have the same themes of sort of misspent power.
They could have stopped with the second one. I just think the second one's just a little bit better.
Yeah. Why then do you not have them as one movie? Why is The Godfather and Godfather 2 separate for you, and why aren't they one for you?
It's because of the prequel, sequel type thing for the second one. I just find that separates them just enough to be two different movies.
I wouldn't separate them though. I think because it is a prequel and a sequel, you're missing a very valuable part that if you watch them chronologically, you've already seen it. And this is why I don't think it's a sequel. I think it's an extension.
It is.
Of the first one. It's not a franchise for me.
It's not a
It's
franchise.
one
It's not a
one
franchise,
experience.
Yeah, but we're basically agreeing again.
Basically, yeah.
Yay!
I'm not sure we're gonna do that every time.
Probably
In
not.
fact,
I know for a fact we won't do that every time.
no, because are we gonna do fantasy next? Would you
Okay.
like to?
Yeah. I've already got the list started, so I hope
me,
we're
me too. Me too. I'm not
Um,
sure we're gonna agree on number one.
We're not gonna.
I'm very sorry.